What's up, guys? This is Andrew on bass here with Whitebelts out here on tour with Torrin Wells. Thought I would take you through a little bit of my world. Starts out trusty Fender Jazz Deluxe 5 that I've had for, gosh, 15, 20 years now. It's been my main workhorse for a while. So it starts here. We go wireless down here into this world. Hits my Shure wireless unit down here, all compact on one board, so I have all things here. Into my tuner, gotta have that. Compressor here just keeps everything super nice. A little preamp to warm things up. My multi-effects unit, got anything you want in here. It's the HX Stomp, use it for drives, all kinds of stuff. I have my switcher here. I can go up and down in the banks for whatever I need on control of the HX Stomp. And then all of that feeds to the Noble here, which is the DI, warms everything up tube. Sends it to front of house for a nice good sound. So that's all live electric bass stuff that we're working with. So we'll move on over here. We have a lot of synth stuff going on. So I'm using here the Moog Subsequent 37. Have all my patches saved so I can just rapidly quick flip through anything that I need. So I've got that. Got to have a trusty pick for the yeah, and then I hear everything through the 64 audio. Here I have the original A8s. 64 audio, hook me up, bro. I need some help. I'm on the originals, bro. Appreciate y'all, man.
What's going on, everybody? Uriah Zeph Solis, live and in color in front of you. I'm covering acoustics and electric guitars on the Holy Forever tour with the Whitebelts. I'm just kidding. With Torrin and with Chris Tomlin. So we're gonna start with the acoustics since I'm here. This is my Gopherwood 810 RE is the model. Shout out to Gopherwood for sending me this a few years ago. I've been rocking with it for quite a while now and hasn't let me down yet. But this gets me through a lot. I love the body shape and it's on this nice stand that it lives on for the entire set, which is very convenient because I have quick changes. The most beautiful guitar that I own is this right here. It's a White Penguin from Gretsch. It's like a 59, I think. 59 specs, 1959 specs, with the Bigsby, of course, because anything else would be uncivilized. I use this for about half the set. My main guitar on this one, well, I guess for the other half, so I guess it's not main, is this Strat right here. I got single humbucker made by my friend Esteban Cervantes. He makes amazing stuff and he's a great guitar tech as well. Got a little whammy bar on there for some action, and other than that it's pretty standard. It's got a little what is this called? Pull? I don't know, a little pull action here to split the coil if you need it. I hardly ever do that, but it's there in case. Good for a studio tool. Live I pretty much keep it on the humbucker all the time. But this one, it's got its own relics going on. Some of them are original, some of them are by me. Most of them were already made. Moving down to the pedal board. This was made by the amazing people at XTS, Exact Tone Solutions in Nashville. Shout out to Barry and Eric. Barry and Eric, they are the guys. Greg is cool too. But Barry and Eric hooked me up. So we got right here. They made me a little interface input here, left and right. It's a whole stereo rig. To start the chain, I go from this guy. First goes to the wah pedal, just because I don't feel at home unless I have a wah pedal on my board. From the wah pedal to the compressor, which is the UA Max. It's a dual compressor and it sounds incredible. From that we're going to the line 6, the HX1. My previous rig had 2 HX stomps, but I completely changed it, but I still love the HX like products, so I had to get me one of these. This is pre-overdrive and pre-overdrive modulation or pitch shifting, anything like that. Just stuff that sounds good early on in the chain. Filter kind of stuff. Then after that, we'll go into the switcher unit here I have from Morningstar. It's called the ML5. This is where I have all my distortions. This is number 1, which is the Morning Glory, one of the older models. Number 2 is the Timmy. which I pretty much need these two overdrives all the time. They've become my go-tos. And this one is first stage, this is second stage gain. Third one, we have the Protein by Brown. This one is amazing. I love to play them stacked together, so that's how I have that one running. Then from there we go to the Benson preamp. Fourth stage, I have the drive pretty high because I love the fuzzier tones out of this. It sounds amazing. And then this is the Angry Charlie in the fifth slot, which is pretty much my solo tone. This is another pedal these three, I'm at home if I have these three. And then out of the loop, we go into the RC booster, and that's just I use it as just a volume boost. I'm not really putting extra gain or that much extra EQ. Pretty much flat and just a little extra treble, so it doesn't sound too bassy. Still cuts, but I use this to taste. It kind of just happens every once in a while. Mainly on clean tones, I like to use it. Then from here we go to the the Eventide H9, and this does all my post distortion modulations, choruses and vibrato and all that kind of stuff. It sounds amazing. From there, out of that's where the stereo starts. Echo System from Empress, and then from there to the Reverb by Empress. And I'm so happy I finally was able to pair these. I've had this one for years, and this one I just got this year, and I'm happy to have them on the same rig. They sound awesome and they work. They're very user friendly. The whole board is run via MIDI by the Morningstar MC6. This is the Mark II version, and this controls all the patch changes. I pretty much have every section of every song on here, and I just go through the set one button at a time. And so that'll change everything between the modulations, the delay, reverb, and even the switcher. And I forgot the volume pedal. That comes after the overdrives, because I like my volume pedal post overdrives. That's all. Out of that, I'm running ampless, but what I do have is, this is new to me for this tour. First time I'm using it. I've become a fan of the UA stuff, of course. Ruby and the Dream, we all know these. They sound amazing. If you haven't played through them, you will be pleasantly surprised when you finally do. Left side, right side, and that's pretty much it. Running into the Daiso Plus or Diso Plus with a reverse polarity switch on it, because these two guys tend to go out of phase sometimes. So that corrects everything, and from there, straight to the front of house. Also, brought my telly out, also made by Cervantes. My boy Esteban did his thing with this. P90 and a humbucker in the bridge. This is my #1 guitar actually, but for this tour, Torrin is using it on the song that he plays. But I really can't go anywhere without it. 64 ears. These are the something, I don't know, they're four drivers. They're pretty cool. I'm probably gonna get a new pair soon, but shout out 64. These are my favorite picks. The yellow Dunlops. I like the green ones too, but the yellows are my absolute favorite. But this has been my rig this tour, and I'm gonna probably keep it for a while because I'm enjoying it. Shout out XTS, shout out Gopher Wood, shout out Esteban, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yo, David Baker out of Dallas, Texas, on the Holy Forever tour, covering keys with Torrin Wells. This is what I'm rocking. Phantom, Roland Phantom 8. Got a Roland Jupiter 80 right here in the North Stage 3. So, got using this as my workhorse, and it's connected to my laptop, running it out of the Focus, right? I believe this is the 4th gen Scarlett, and this is talking to my Nano up here, so I don't have to be down here controlling stuff. I can get volumes, I can mute sound, solo it, I can stop sounds up here, all types of things that are related to my computer, so I don't have to be reaching down and doing all types of stuff. So, but aside from that, I am using some sounds out of the North. For this tour, not as much as I would normally use based on our set list. Pretty much, I only got 5 slots that I'm using. And, but up here, this is more of my, this is where a lot of my harsh sounds take place. Like the orchestra hits and the leads and the sound effects and all the synth-based stuff. And then over here on the Jupiter 80, I got some softer sounds to do it, like some EPs. And I got like record sounds and softer strings and leads and stuff. So these, the way I separate my boards is based off textures. I like to kind of operate with textures and set one board specifically to a certain, texture. That's kind of how I operate. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the rig. Keys World, Touring Wells. Appreciate y'all for checking this out.
What's up, everybody? Chris Strada here, out on the road with Touring Wells on the Holy Forever tour. I'm gonna give you a rig rundown real quick of what I'm using. For those of you who have been following me for a while, I got the same stuff. Ain't really much different, but for those of you who are new, let me show you what I'm working with. So I'm playing a Yamaha Birch Custom Absolute. I got 10, 12, and 16-inch toms, 22-inch kick. For my side snare, I'm using a Yamaha Oak Custom. I love this thing, it's 14-inch. And then for my main snare, I'm using a vertical snare drum. This is the Vamp. This is a 14 by 7.5 or 6.5. I think 7. One of those. I'll correct myself later, but I love this thing. It just smacks. For those of you who know about this snare, everybody's always like, what is that snare? Y'all gotta check out vertical. Anyways, as far as cymbals, Zildjian all day. Over here, I'm using the A Custom 19-inch crash, and I have a 20-inch cluster crash. For my splash, I'm using a 10-inch A Custom. For my ride, I'm using a 22K light ride. And then for my crash on my right, I'm using a Custom Effects crash, and this is 20-inch. And then I use a China. I know a lot of people don't use China. Like, you playing the CCM gig using the China? Yes, and dared you to say something. This is a Zildjian K China, 17-inch Zildjian K China, and it just smacks. Sticks, Pro Mark all day. I switch between the American Hickory 5B and the Ford 5B, Hickory Ford 5B. Drum heads, I'm using all Remo. I have Emperor clears on the toms right now, but I normally have the pinstripes. So I'm just trying these out, trying to try something new, see what sounds best on the kit. On the snare, on my side snare, I'm using a controlled sound. And then on my main snare, I'm using a Power Stroke P77. On the kick, I'm using an Ambassador. I don't remember what it is, but that's pretty much the kit. I'm using Roland Electronics. I have the BT1 trigger right here. I have the PD8 pads over here. And then I also have the KD10, I think it's what it is, as my foot pedal that I'm using for different stuff. And all of that is running through to my Roland TM6 Pro. And that has all the sounds dialed in. Snaps, claps, chimes, booms, big drums, kicks, other little snares. And that's all being controlled via MIDI from our playback station. So I'm not having to reach and like switch for every song. It just automatically switches when the next song is triggered, which is amazing. We have an assortment of mics. I'm not gonna get into that. But I personally endorse SE electronic mics. I use 64 audio in-ears. Everything is on my Yamaha Hex racks. So this whole kit actually stays set up on this riser every day, and they just wheel the riser into a truck. And when we get to the next venue, they just wheel it out and they forklift it onto the stage. So the only thing I really take off is my cymbals, just because they don't want them clanging around in the truck while the driver's driving through the night. And it just helps protect the cymbals, obviously. But yeah, that's my setup. I love it. Out here with the Whitebelts. Let's get it.